So we're on to chapter 9 now. This will be like chapter 9, Cobblestones in Paris, part 2. And I suppose I was going to waffle on a bit about recording, how I came to write this novel. It's really to do with playing guitar and trying to record from a guitar into the computer and using your very first USB recorder. And I plugged into my computer and I got Windows not media player, Windows sound recorder, and you just click on the little red button and hope, and then speak into the microphone. You see it like a little green waveform with a wavelength that changes and gets bigger and smaller as you speak. And so you think, hey, great. So like right now I'm putting my nose closer to the microphone and speaking into my 8-track recorder. And we're on to chapter 9, is it? Or chapter 8? Chapter 9, chapter 8. Cobblestones in Paris. Yeah, so these cobblestones are in some of these videos by Mademoiselle, I think they call it Mademoiselle, with Z-E-L-L-E. And well, it's just, I don't know what it is. It could be like a boutique, it could be like a TV company. It was kind of, they ask these women, young women, to tell the viewers about the clothes that they're wearing, like the boots, the coats, the rings, jewellery, and the scarves. They've got quite a few of them got scarves on. So the weather looks okay. I don't know when they were made. I think they were made about 2 years ago, so they were made about 2011. And they probably caught these young women about March, April, May or something, because it's not boiling hot sunshine. Could have been in April. I'd have to have a look through again and see when they were uploaded, but try and work out when they were made. But they're interesting because they're just sort of like fashion things, but you get to see a bit of Paris. You get to see parts of Paris that you've never seen, and buildings. I find that interesting. Don't get me wrong, not just the buildings, the chicks as well. You're looking at these really tasty looking little chicks. I won't say they're all little, I won't know how big they are, but so right now I'm having a bit of a problem trying to get my microphone. For some reason I like to put the microphone right in the middle of this pop filter, but if I fiddle around with it I'll screw it all up, and I've got a habit of doing that. So once you've got kind of your setup with your recording, you don't want to mess about with it too much, Pardon me. So now you're thinking, how's it now? Well, how am I now going to write a book about cobblestones in Paris? Well, I could go back to the very first time I went to Paris. I find it difficult myself to. Oh man, I remember now. It was with Woody, and we arrived in Paris with our backpacks, That's it, we were backpacking, but we didn't used to call it backpacking in those days. Anyway, we had these like backpacks with a sleeping bag in. Quite light, you know, light sleeping bags are light. And your socks and spare pair of socks or two and some underpants and another shirt, maybe a pullover, and that'd be it really. And that was it. And now we went to Gare Saint-Lazare. I can't remember. Oh, we decided to hitchhike, that was it. We didn't get the train down. So we actually got a train from somewhere like London to Dover. In Dover to sort of Calais or Dieppe or wherever. Just say Calais. And then Calais to Paris, and then get off in Paris. Probably Gare du Nord or somewhere we got off. And then you're trying to work out how to get from the Gare du Nord down to the Côte d'Azur. And so then we went somewhere anyway, just say we were, and we ended up going in this bar, and that was weird. First time seeing French people in a bar, you know, drinking these demi, like they'd have a glass of wine, but they'd have these little ones like half a glass of white, half a glass of red, you know, all fucking pissed in there though, you know. One after, like, I don't know, a Tuesday afternoon, and we roll up. We went in for a cup of coffee or to ask directions as to where the motorway is. Oh, we'd found the motorway and we'd been there a while and couldn't get a lift, and we were getting fed up, so we went into this cafe for a drink. I think we had a cup of coffee, we might have had a beer, but we certainly weren't wine drinkers, you know. At that age we were kind of, I think we'd been at Polytechnic first year or second year. I think it must have been end of second year, and Woody must have been in his third year and graduated, and he was waiting for his degree results. And so he decided he was going to go down to the south of France for the old ice cream and donuts. And Tony and Bernie were already down there in a tent in Camping de l'Aviation. So me and Woody are in this bar, you know, quite noisy, sort of, you know, noisy, smoky. But you looked up on the price lists, and that's where you saw like half a wine, like a really small glass of wine, you know, like a demi-sec, half dry, or sec dry. Not that I wanted any, but it was just unusual. When you go somewhere, it's the unusual things that stick out, you know. Or, I don't know, like if you saw that got Coca-Cola, you think, oh, we got Coca-Cola. And there are lots of things that France and Britain and America and everywhere has in common, like lemonades or Coca-Cola, or I don't know, sorts of tyres on cars or something. But then after that, that's where you get the diversity, you get the different culture, different drinks, different home market. And that's it really. I mean, we'll come up to end of this chapter now. Chapter 8. Woody, I suppose we'll call it Woody. Woody and me or something, you know. Because then we did get a lift and we were moving towards Fontainebleau. That's it, that was the last bit of Paris then, this bar, and went back to the motorway and did get a lift. And we got a lift to Fontainebleau, and then we, you know, obviously we sort of like stuck at Fontainebleau for a while, and then you're waiting for your next lift again. And you're hoping, you know, you're going to get another lift down. further, but I think we slept at Fontainebleau. Oh no, we might have got a bit further down and down south, and we slept in a field. That was it. Oh man, that was a nightmare. That was. I'll tell you about that one in next one. Chapter 9, the nightmare. That was, oh man. Well, it was pouring down, and well, we'll come to that one soon enough.